Dr. Samuel Carpenter from Laidlaw College. Sam, kia ora, nice to see you again.
Kia ora, Andrew.
This is a complex one, and very challenging to get through all of the details of this. Although, can I just say you've written a wonderful and a wonderful article that goes into more depth, and it is some good sources for this. If people wanted to go deeper into this conversation, they can read your article, or perhaps if they're brave, jump into Ned Fletcher's book, right?
Indeed, and I imagine you can probably provide a link to the article on your
Yes.
On the YouTube page later.
So essentially, as some people would say it, yes, intentionally perhaps one document, but because of problems with the translation, there are irreconcilable differences between the meaning of the English and the Maori treaties. What's your thoughts on that, Sam?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many different entry points into this conversation. I think where I want to start is the treaty originally was meant to bring Māori and Pākehā together,
yep,
not divide them. But I think what our discourse has been doing on the treaty is lately is and for good reasons, because the compact that was signed in 1840 wasn't observed in many respects, and there were injustices and so on. So it's no surprise that, and there's all this dynamic. Was the treaty a good thing? Was it a bad thing?
Yep.
Was it a fraud or was it a sacred compact? And so Māori have sort of gone backwards and forwards on this, quite rightly, given the history post 1840.
Yeah.
But I think the treaty needs to bring us together. Because that was what it was about at the beginning.
Yeah. Now, the key word in this one, and the key point of division for a lot of people, is the issue of sovereignty and whether or not sovereignty was ceded by the signing of, in particular, Te Tiriti of Waitangi. However, this isn't a word which is in the document.
Yes, well, the article that I've written is really picking up on that point. One of the key arguments I'm making is, look, the text that Māori signed, for the most part, was the Te Reo Māori text.
Yeah.
The word sovereignty is not in there.
Mm-hmm.
The debates about the treaty were in Te Reo Māori, for the most part, obviously, and then obviously, and continued to be discussed in Te Reo Māori for years afterwards, for decades afterwards. So we need to go back to the Māori text. That's what I'm saying. And really, when you look at it, there's a grant of government to the Crown in Article 1 and an affirmation of Māori tribal authority or rangatiratanga in Article 2. Yep. What I'm saying is, and building on Ned Fletcher's work, is that you can actually read these two authorities together. That tribal authority is to continue. At the same time, Crown government is needed because of pressing issues at the time.
Yeah.
Issues of law and order, crime, even inter-tribal warfare. That's getting mixed up in European Māori relations, and of course land trade. So this is why this new form of authority is needed, kawanatanga.
And that is the key word here, and it is perhaps not an accurate translation. You can't just swap out kawanatanga and sovereignty. They do mean different things, but this is something which, certainly from your article, from your point of view, from Ned Fletcher's scholarship, that kawanatanga was recognised and perhaps was ceded by Māori who signed Te Tiriti.
Well, yes. I mean, the question here is, I think, not what kawanatanga, not what it means abstractly, or not what sovereignty means abstractly, but what it was designed to do.
Yeah.
In that context, where Māori lives and Pākehā lives were becoming entangled in so many ways, and so our way into it is to think what is the treaty the remedy for?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so you have issues with the land trade, with speculators, those dastardly speculators from New South Wales, trying to buy up Māori land. You got New Zealand company ships about to arrive with settlers. You've got sort of issues of crime that are rising, on both Māori and Pākehā sides in those interactions. So there's no authority that has been able to sort that, and arguably Kāwanatanga doesn't do the best job after 1840. But there is the session. There is an agreement by Māori that the government is to come and exercise a degree of authority in relation to this situation of, I guess, entanglement. That's one way I'd put it anyway.
You talked also about how one of the purposes of the treaty is to bring peoples together. And I know certainly the statement by Governor Hobson at the original signing at the Waitangi, what is now the Waitangi Treaty grounds, gave that statement of intent that through the signing of the treaty we become one people. With the version that you have two irreconcilable treaties, this bicultural plan where we have two parallel streams, two peoples working in parallel to each other. I mean, it's a working out of how the treaty could work in a modern day context, but perhaps not the original intention. Would that be fair?
Well, the way you've phrased it there, it's I'm not sure exactly how to give a definitive answer. I mean, I think, look, put it this way, he iwi tahi tātou, we are now one people. I think if you look at the syntax, the Māori syntax, tātou doesn't mean that we're all dissolved into the one tātou, right? There's still mātou and koutou. So a segue, this is a good segue into what Ned Fletcher says, that British sovereignty or government is not inconsistent with plurality in laws. That is, the Māori custom can continue under British sovereignty or under British government and tribal authority at the hapu level. So while we're one, while I guess the idea was we're now incorporated in the British Empire, I think was the idea of the one, right? Not New Zealand, because New Zealand's just a little, but within this kind of British world, this government of law, that law looks different for different parts of whether the Kainai community or hapu and tribes. The picture is somewhat different. And so I think that's obviously what the situation was in 1840. There was no idea that there would be one law for all, I think, as a slogan is now saying in 2025. And of course, that's 1840. So what 2025 looks like is another question altogether. But certainly in 1840, one law for all or one people didn't mean we were all to follow exactly the same set of customs or laws necessarily. It wasn't an assimilation policy, although that's perhaps as some people have interpreted. This is a complex issue, Sam, as we said at the beginning, and thank you for the research that you've done in this space. Be fair to say that people will probably likely continue to have different opinions on this one, but hey, at least we can have a robust and respectful conversations about what it means for us as peoples, as Maori and Pākehā together in 2025 and going forward, hopefully. Indeed. It's quite clear that it was a sacred compact, and Māori saw it in that way.
Appreciate the work that you do, Sam. Thanks so much for joining us.
Kia ora, Andrew.
Hey, thanks very much for joining us in the Rhema studio. Thanks very much for watching the interview. It's kind of nice to have an audience, actually. And if you did like what you watched, then do give us a like, do give us the thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more interviews like that one, or perhaps even better, subscribe and those interviews will come straight to you. Don't forget to turn on your notifications, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.